I would have a microphone issue right off the bat, huh? All right, everyone. Welcome into ESK8 UK live show. My name is Carlos. I also go by See the Bridges on Instagram and YouTube. Thank you, as always, to Silent Suki for letting me host the show this week. We're having a little fireside chat with ESK8 Windsor this week. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, ESK8 Windsor. Been on the show a few times, so I'm sure most of you know me. Carlos, I don't think I've ever chatted with you before, so yeah, this will be fun.
Yes, I don't believe I've had the pleasure before. I heard you have maybe seen me around on Instagram on occasion. Maybe heard about my little Riptide project I've been working on and off for the last like year-ish.
Yeah, I've heard little inklings of that, and yeah, I've seen you around on Instagram a few times, some of your posts.
So let's I guess we'll just dive right in to what we'll dive right in with what do you think about all of the latest board releases? Because I have not really been keeping up with it since I've been so in the weeds with my custom remote build and trying to finish off this silly little Riptide project. I think we talked a little bit about what was it, Mark One, the one.
Yeah, the Mach 1, or do they change it? There might be a new name for it now. I'll have to double check on that. But yeah, Radium's new board. That's
Yeah.
based off the original Mach 1. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's super interesting to see the new boards
I'm
coming
not a
out.
racer, so like to me, this just extravagance incarnate. Like I'm since you are not super familiar with me, I am very much a more in the Drew Elias category of e-skater. I'm all about the wapa. Give me a like carvy, flowy board that goes like
Gotcha. Yeah,
15 to 18 miles an hour. I'm not a speed demon by any stretch of the imagination.
I gotcha. So I assume you probably prefer Thane wheels then.
Oh, for sure. Give me all the Thane, every single. I don't own a single pneumatic tube.
I've started getting back into Thanes recently with Mads wheels, and
Ugh,
it's nice. It's nice having
I,
that feeling of road contact.
it's so funny you say that. I just got back from a 27-mile skate this morning. I'm based in Philly, so I rode the trail down, and we just took a little loop around the city just for a bit. Got some water ice, and I was on the the Mad Max 105s.
Yeah, I
Absolute favorite wheels.
the range. I like the range increase you get. I've completely forgotten and missed that over the years. Just using pneumatics and switching over to Thanes. I'm like going my normal route and checking my battery and be like, dang, I've got so much battery left.
All right, and then if you like your range on the Mad Max 105s, trust me, when you drop down to something even smaller, like if you drop down to like the new Mad Wheels 90 millimeters
Yeah.
or like Kagwama 85s, the range boost is insane again on top of that because I've been chewing through the battery on my Viril and like it's got a 12S 3P, whereas my Lin Power Zephyr, which is on Kagwama's, is a 14S 2P. So I'm like, why am I getting more range on my Lin Power when I got less cells in there? And I was like, oh, it's the Mad 105s.
Mm, I think Lin Powers also uses the 50S battery, so you just might have a bit of extra amp hours in there as well.
Ooh, I'm on 50s on both.
Oh,
Funny enough,
okay. Never mind
same
then.
same cells in both. uh,
Yeah,
but
yeah. No,
yeah,
I'm
all right.
definitely
So
interested in those
so
97s.
so the Mach 1S. So race board. What's it running? It's that I see it's on its own like special set of wheels. Like they look like, are those the like 120s?
Those are 125 radium wheels. I hear they're even more grippy than the Mad wheels. If that's what you want. I like the grip. I'm not a huge fan of sliding around, but I've been dabbling a bit recently with more sliding on these
Same
skates.
here, same here. The Philadelphia Broad Street Bomb was just this past Saturday, and I went out riding with all the longboarders from Philly, Cincinnati, DC. There was a couple of people from all over the tri-state area that came out, and after the big race, we went out to a big hill on the other side of the city, and we were doing some downhill jam. And one of the guys that I like to ride with in Philly here was like, do a slide. And I've never slid a board out before in my life as I'm carving, and I hit the slide for the first time. And he was like, just keep doing that. And I'm just like, oh, I've been wanting to learn how to slide for the last like, year.
I feel that. I feel that.
But okay, so Radium's new board, not a slider, definitely straight line racer.
Well, I mean, what's his name? Dylan. I always forget his last name, but the one Australian racer, really, really talented. Who uses on the Mach 1, Radium's Mach 1s a lot. He slides it. He does like wheelies on it. So it's still possible, but yeah. The new Mach 1S here. Bit of a toned down version of their old Mach 1. I think basically it's not using VESC for this, is the big draw. It's using, I think, JK ESE. I think it's, I want to say it's a 16S. And it's not putting out as much power as the original, but supposed to be more, main streamlined for consumer, a little cheaper.
I mean, we always love to see that. We love to see a slightly more budget conscious board. I am definitely a budget conscious type of board person. All my boards are, well, with the exception of the custom Riptide, probably about, I try to keep it under $1,000 for any of my boards just because, yeah.
Thanks, Craig. Dylan Bell. Yeah. I always forget his last name. It's not even a hard last name, but I always forget it.
All right, so wait, and so was Suki was saying maybe that do you have an original Mach 1? Is that, am I understanding that right?
Yes, I had an original Mach 1.
Had an original. How did you like it?
Good.
Or maybe you
good. Well, so at the time I wasn't really that into Thanes, and I was still on my pneumatic kick, trying to find the perfect set of pneumatic wheels, and specifically for racing, just wanting as much grip as I can for the corners. And so yeah, when I originally got the board, it was mainly for, it was going to be for racing, but then I ended up getting a Stooge. So and I was like, okay, well, I don't need this for racing. And I don't really use Thane wheels on the street, so yeah.
So perfect storm of just the board had to go. It outlived its purpose, I guess.
I had too many other boards that fit the exact purpose of what I was looking for.
Don't I know it? My poor little cruiser that's gonna go, I don't know, down into storage once I finally finish this guy off. I'm so excited to finish this guy off, but the remote needs a lot more work.
Cruisers with some surf skates on them, or surf trucks on them. It's so fun. It's still to this day, it's probably the most fun I've had on ESK8.
Ooh, what was it? The Riptide? Was it the R1 Black or R1S? They had that limited edition one with the surf skate attachment and the rail. And,
yeah.
Oh, God, that was partially my inspiration for doing the custom build out, was one of those, because I was just like, I never picked one up, and I was just obsessed with the idea of having a cruiser with a kicktail in my quiver. So, because like I love my longboards. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of curbs here in Philly, and I feel like I want to learn how to. I want to jump some curbs. Like
yeah. I feel that.
The bottom of my poor Viril RS Pro is just scratched to hell from all of the curbs I've accidentally gone off and scraped down right down the center.
Yeah, I've got a decent amount of scrapes on my boards. Shows that they've been used and loved.
Exactly. I've got friends that are like just getting into the sport now, and because I love getting people involved. And they look at my boards and they go, "Why are your boards so beat up?" And I'm like, "They're well used. Like I don't baby my boards. I go out, I ride on them. I hit the salt in the winter. That always sucks. I hate cleaning up the salt, but
it's always the worst.
Always the salt. And then they look at my trucks and they're like, "You destroyed your trucks." And I'm like, "Well, Yeah, we live in Philly. The roads are basically just half potholes.
Yeah, yeah, it's similar-ish here where I'm at. Roads are pretty bad, which is why I actually went over to pneumatics for the most part.
Wait, so what's your primary street board then? So if you're using the Stooge race board for racing, what's your go-to board with your pneumatics now dabbling a little more in Thanes? There's that two separate boards.
Yeah, so I the OMW, I've got a few boards by them, but there's a Cavalry and the Hussar, and I
Okay.
recently swapped the one of them has they're both basically the same board except one is a bit more flexible, the other one is stiff, and one has a 12S3P and the other one's a 12S4P. So I threw the Mad wheels on the 12S3P now, and I've got the pneumatics on the 12S4P. Uh, Still way more range on with the 3P with those Mad wheels, which is still
Uh,
crazy to me. But
all
yeah,
right. So you're riding on some OMWs. Have you ridden a Gladius yet, by chance?
N- no, I am curious with that, and like I want to put surf trucks on that.
It would be perfect for it. My buddy actually just got the Gladius like 2 weeks ago, and let me tell you, it's the most bizarre feeling deck. Like coming from well, basically all my boards are drop mount with the exception of the cruisers, um, and I'm so used to my double drop now with the Lin Power Zephyr, but the
Hmm.
Gladius is like top mount with a single micro drop. And you step on the
Yep,
board, and it's just
and
your
drop.
feet are just perfectly locked in right over the trucks, and
Hmm.
it's so flowy. I wasn't expecting it, especially for like regular reverse kingpins. Like
They were
very,
so
very
the
impressive.
that deck and that those reverse kingpins. So like I was talking with them and working with them for a while. Not as much these days. I need to message them, but but over the like 2 years ago, year and a half ago, when they were first developing that deck, and I know like they went through a lot of iterations to get that deck to be able to be that like flexible but still like rigid and like not break. And the trucks, the reverse kingpin trucks. They went through a few versions of that so they could get it where it was where they liked it. So the whole thing went through like a lot of revisions, lots of updates to finally get it where it was.
Honestly, I didn't give them enough credit when I saw like the Instagram ads and like the first like pictures of it and like the 3D renders, and I was just like, man, that's kind of a dumb looking board with the sword aesthetic and like the kick tail and then now having ridden it, I'm like, I could not have been more wrong. The flex on that deck is crazy. You're not kidding. You were not joking about how flexy the deck is. I thought the Lin Power was like a nice, like comfy, flexy deck. The Gladius is like a trampoline almost, it feels like when I was on it. And like I'm not the biggest dude, but like with like all my gear on me, I weigh about 200 pounds probably. And it's just very, very impressive.
And for like a cruiser, like I feel like that's what if it's a good category. Like if I'm just kind of cruising to work or something, I don't want to be putting in a bunch of effort with a kicktail to necessarily hop up on all the curbs and deal with the terrible pavement while I have like my work backpack and stuff on me. Like, I want my ride to be kind of comfortable, just cruising to get to work. I don't need a bunch of range. That's like nice flexible deck, like the Mad Wheels. Like, yeah, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, this is not the style for me. I obviously have a very particular style. I go
Yeah.
for outlandish looking boards with bright wheels, but the Gladius was just I just found it so interesting. They did such a great job on those trucks. Such a fantastic job on the deck.
It wasn't just a copy paste of another design or anything like that.
Which
Like,
is exactly what I was expecting it to be when
mm,
I read the spec sheet and everything too. I'm like, oh, the motors and the ESC, it's just going to be another hobby wing. It's going to
yeah,
feel
right.
almost identical to the Lin Power Zephyr, like it's just a 14S, whatever, whatever. And then no, lo and behold, it's a little monster it's a little monster that's turning radius is almost tighter than all my DKP decks.
Hmm.
Like it's just wild.
I'm kind of. I'd almost be tempted to race on something like that on like a small short track.
Okay, okay, I could see it. Like I'm thinking like because it's very similar to like when we were at the downhill jam. A lot of the like analog longboarders are using like those
Exactly.
much smaller downhill decks, and I'm like, it's
Exactly.
very reminiscent of that shape. So
Hmm.
okay, you can really take corners and slide out if you need to for the for the racing.
Anyway, I think we're approaching our time here. It was
Yeah.
super fun talking with you.
Likewise, let's definitely do this again soon, Windsor.
Yeah. Thanks for everyone in the comments there, and thanks, Craig, for filling us in on some of what was going on in the China races.
But yeah.